Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review video. In this one, we're switching it up out of Marvel and jumping into Power Rangers with the Hasbro Lightning Collection San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 2-pack of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Red Ranger and the Power Rangers ZEO Gold Ranger. Both Jason. Really awesome set. It was $54 at San Diego Comic-Con. At some point, it will be up on Hasbro Pulse, and I want to say August 27th or 28th. I think it's the day before the Marvel stuff goes up on there. So I do highly recommend getting the set. I haven't opened it yet, but in package, this thing is pretty awesome. So I can't wait to get it. So some cool artwork of the Red Ranger and the ZEO Gold Ranger. The back is the same thing, so I won't do that. But the special packaging, there's just this little pull down part that's part of the box there. So we'll kind of get that out of the way. And then we have them two here, and then it opens up like so, both directions. And what an awesome set this is. Adjust those lights and move them around. So really cool. We get the two figures and a bunch of accessories. So we get all the cool weapons and everything and how they combine. And I don't remember what that was called, but all the individual Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they put their weapons together, and it created like a master weapon. Forgive me, I haven't seen the show since I was a kid. I remember I was in second grade, and I just loved this show. So that's why I'm only going to be collecting Mighty Morphin Rangers and ZEO, because I did watch up until ZEO, maybe a season or two after that, but I really don't remember, and I really don't remember much of ZEO. Mighty Morphin is really what it was all about. So that's why I'm mainly going to focus on that. I will not be getting all the Power Rangers, but really cool set. We get two unhelmeted Jason heads, so that is pretty cool. One where he's smiling, one where he's definitely not. It looks kind of funky, but still really cool to have. On the back of the package, we get a nice promo shot of both of the figures and a couple of different bios. So for the ZEO Gold Ranger, it says, when Trey of Triforia relinquishes his Gold Ranger powers, Jason returns to Angel Grove and joins his old friend Tommy in a new team of Rangers. Wielding the Golden Power Staff, Jason battles the Machine Empire alongside the ZEO Rangers. See, I don't even really remember that. I do remember that it was some other alien dude that, you know, was the Gold Ranger before Jason took it over. I do remember that. And then for Mighty Morphin Red Ranger, a talented martial artist and loyal friend, Jason accepts the responsibility of leadership when Zordon grants him the powers of the Red Ranger. Jason holds his team together through the toughest challenges that Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed throw at them. So really cool. One thing to note, this Red Ranger is the version that has the dragon shield. And again, I don't even remember that from the show, but I know it did happen. Similar to this one, the upcoming Walgreens exclusive Black Ranger will also have the Dragon Shield, and I really don't remember Black Ranger having that. So that'll be interesting to kind of look up as I try and take a stroll down memory lane on some of these things. But can't wait. Let's get these two figures out of the package. Alright, and here is the Red Ranger and the ZEO Gold Ranger out of the package, along with all of the accessories. So the real highlight, aside from two awesome figures, is the accessories. I'm just blown away. So we get this like flame effect over here. Again, we get the two unhelmeted Jason heads. Each figure has one pair of extra interchangeable hands. They are fists. They have the same hands, and they're both kind of the open trigger finger hands, and then each of them come with fists. So they are the same hands, so two sets of those. We get the blaster, and then the holstered blaster version, so he can actually get ready to shoot that one. The Gold Ranger staff, and I forget exactly how these worked out, but this one's the open one, this one's the closed one. And then we get the power blaster, where all the weapons of all the 5 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers come together to make the cannon. This thing is pretty cool and not at all what I expected, because these are the individual weapons for each of the Rangers. I kind of thought in package that this was just all going to be like one piece, but no, they're all individual pieces that come together, which is pretty amazing. Not at all what I thought it was going to be. So we have the power sword here, which looks very good. Some gold paint over the red and everything. There's some sculpted line work in the design of the blade itself. It's done in a silver paint, black for the handle, so that came out looking really good. The power axe, or power cannon, sometimes it's referred to, we got the Mastodon power coin symbol there, a little bit of yellow over the black, and then silver for the the Mastodon logo and the cannon portion of it. So that looks really good. Here we have the power daggers for the Yellow Ranger. Those look pretty good there. Nice silver paint over the blades. I like that we get that silver paint, not just like a dull gray. The power lance, however, is two separate pieces, but they have the cannon effect. So how much you want to bet when the Blue Ranger releases that there's going to be some plastic piece that's going to hold these two together for the power lance. Now this should obviously be a little bit longer because it should be about the height of the Blue Ranger itself when fully extended out. But these look very good. Again, nice silver paint to them. And then for the Pink Ranger, we have the bow. Now, I would not be surprised, and I'd have to look at the images of the bow that the Pink Ranger is going to come with, because she's in Wave 2. I'm sure it's not the same as this, whereas this has all the clips and everything to hold the weapons together. I'm sure it's going to be a different one that comes with it, but I'll have to take a closer look at those images to see. That is pretty cool. In addition to those, we also get the Dragon Dagger that comes with the Red Ranger, and he has the two holsters so he can have them both at his side. And that came out looking really good. It gets me really excited to get a Green Ranger, which will be coming in a fan channel exclusive 2-pack with a putty, one of the putty soldiers or whatever I guess you would call them, and I can't wait to get that. And I was so upset that Hasbro didn't bring that out into the Hasbro booth at Comic-Con. I guess it was just shown off for that Hasbro breakfast, so I really wanted to see that set in person, and they didn't even have it out. So really cool. So first, let's look at Red Ranger. Okay, so here's an up-close look at the Red Ranger. And now, when I first posted pictures, a few people had said that the red helmet looks a little off, and it's because the silver doesn't go all the way around as it should from the TV show. So that's a little unfortunate that Hasbro didn't get that completely right. But I think it still looks pretty good. At least the sculpt of it, anyway, came out looking really good. The Dragon Shield looks pretty good. Now, it's not as gold as I would have liked, kind of similar with the ZEO Gold, but it's better than the yellowy mustard look that Bandai did with the Gold Ranger. But I wish it would have been a little bit more gold, but because it's a soft rubber material, that's kind of not going to be, as metallic looking as, say, this would, but it does look pretty good. Paint apps throughout look pretty good. No issues, really. There's the Power Morpher. No complaints from the figure, but it does look really good. Very, very happy to have it. So we'll take a look at the ZEO Gold Ranger as well. Now, one thing to note on here is that it is a different gold on the helmet versus the gold that's throughout the rest of the figure. Not sure exactly why that is. You think they would use kind of a matching color, but it is a little bit different. This is a little bit more metallic, but you can hardly see it on there. But the sculpt of the helmet looks really good. The shield looks really good as well. I like it. At first I thought I assumed that these upper arms would be the same as like the Red Ranger, but they are in fact actually different. You can see sculpted lines in there, so they are not the same. Belt looks good. Throughout the rest of the figure looks pretty good as well. No complaints anywhere there. I like it. And then you can actually see that collar piece. This is the same gold as the helmet, different gold that's on the rest of the figure. So just wanted to point that out. Now, they each have additional interchangeable heads. Let's take a look at those now. Okay, so here's the first one. Now, this is a smiling Jason head, and I think that does look like the actor Austin St. John, I think is his name. That came out looking really good. Now, one of the unfortunate things of when I took off the helmeted head, I see a lot of paint scratches there on the neck, which is very noticeable. When the helmet's on, it's not as noticeable because it really hides it since the helmet kind of comes down a little bit, but I kind of wish I didn't see that. But I like the way that one looks. Now the other one is much, much different. You can see that he has kind of a straight face or sad, depressed looking face. These both use the new digital print. I think they look very good. The sculpt came out great. This one, for whatever reason, his lips look a little dark, a little heavy on the paint there, but I do like the way they look. I think they look really good. Now let's zoom out and take a look at their articulation. Okay, so for articulation, we'll start with the Red Ranger. He can look down somewhat. The Dragon Shield does get in the way a little bit on his chest, hindering that. He can look up. Full swivel, of course. There's a little bit of pivot in there. Shoulders come out this high up, so not a huge amount, but there is a fair amount in there. You can get a full rotation in there. You just have to really work it around that Dragon Shield. There is a butterfly joint, so you can move the arm in that much, and you can move it back quite a bit. In not so much, because the strap of the Dragon Shield does get in the way. There is an upper bicep swivel. You get a double jointed elbow, which works out quite well, so no problems there. There is a swivel at the wrist, and they do hinge. Now, there are multiple points of articulation in the torso, so you have an ab crunch, which crunches down that much, which is great, and it crunches back that much, so that's huge range of motion in that ab crunch. And then there's also the diaphragm joint, so you get pivot going that way, pivot going the other way, and then the coming forward, not a whole lot. Going back, it's only a little bit, but when you combine it with the ab crunch, you get a huge range of motion in there. A little too much, a little unnatural, but that's pretty good. But there's no waist swivel since we get multiple points of articulation in there. Legs can go out that far apart. Leg can kick forward that much. Goes back only a tiny amount, not a whole lot. There is an upper thigh cut there. Double jointed knee, which works out quite well. There is a boot swivel. Foot hinges down, hinges up, and there is ankle pivot. So very similar articulation from the White Ranger, which we had seen before. Now ZEO Gold, he can look down very little. That shield does get in the way. He can only look up that high. It's not the shield, it's just the way that you can get it there. Swivel, tiny bit of pivot. Shoulders can come up. Ooh, that one's a little stuck. Shoulders can come up that high. There is a butterfly joint in there as well, so you can move the arm back that much. You can move it forward quite a bit, so that actually works out quite well. There is an upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, wrists swivel and hinge. Again, same points of articulation. There is the diaphragm joint, which comes forward only a tiny amount, goes back a little bit, pivots to the side that way, pivots to the other side that way. You get an ab crunch, so you can crunch down far forward. You can crunch back a whole lot as well. No waist swivel. Legs can come out that far apart. There's an upper thigh cut. Double jointed knee, which doesn't work out as well because it's got this large boot piece there that gets in the way. There is a boot swivel in there. Foot hinges down, hinges up, and it has ankle pivot, and they all share the same feet, by the way. Leg can kick forward that much and can go back a small amount. So there is the articulation of these two Ranger figures. Okay, and here are the three Ranger figures that I have all side by side. You can see that they're all basically the same height. They do use some of the same parts. I would say that lower torso piece is going to be the same where the ab crunch is. Obviously the hip joints are all going to be different because they each use different belts. Upper legs are the same except for ZEO Gold because at the knee he's got different knee pieces, so that require different parts. Feet are the same. Boots are not the same on any of these three. So you can see that for Hasbro, it's going to be very easy for them to produce at least the Mighty Morphin line because they're all going to really use the same pieces, especially with like this Red Ranger. Obviously, the arms are going to be different because these ones have the gold shield pieces or arm pieces from the Dragon Shield. Now the Walgreens exclusive Black Ranger will be basically, I would say, the exact same of this Red Ranger figure, obviously with the new helmet, the new head, but it's going to be very similar. And then when the regular, because you know they're going to release a regular red, regular Black Ranger, obviously the arms are going to be different, but you could see that they're going to be able to utilize all the same pieces, and it's going to make it very easy for them. Now also on top of these three figures, I also have the Lord Zed figure. because I will be collecting all the Mighty Morphin and then the ZEO, so we'll see which additional ZEO figures we'll be getting in the future. And I'm, for one, am very excited for the Goldar figure, even though he doesn't look as gold anymore on the in-package photos that have been released. But I am excited to get that. That is a GameStop exclusive in the United States. Not sure where it will be overseas. I'm sure Canada will just be EB Games. But I'm sure they're going to be popping up in other places. But I, for one, am very happy with these Power Rangers figures, and I can't wait to get more. Pink Ranger will be in Wave 2. Walgreens exclusive will get the Black Ranger with the Dragon Shield, and then the fan channel exclusive Green Ranger and the Putty 2-pack. Very excited for that. Green Ranger was always my favorite when watching the show. Then White Ranger was kind of my favorite when Tommy became the White Ranger and not the Green Ranger anymore. So those are going to be my favorite ones. I think the Green Ranger is going to come with the same unhelmeted head that the White Ranger came with, which he should have it to where his hair is like down and flowing out or whatever, or just down. But still going to be very happy to have it and can't wait to add it to my collection. One thing that's difficult is I have so many Marvel Legends figures. I don't actually have a place for these Power Rangers figures. They've the White Ranger and Lord Zed have been kind of floating around my review desk for quite some time. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But you guys let me know down in the comments below. What do you guys think of these figures? Are you collecting them? Are you all in for all of them? Or are you only getting certain ones? I'm curious. Let me know down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.